Let's talk about the Matrix Resurrection. I have no idea why I said it in that voice. What up, guys? Bobo here with BrassReel Brothers. Thanks for coming back for some more popcorns. So everybody knows when the original Matrix came out, it was phenomenal. Groundbreaking. I mean, it changed cinema going forward. Visually, none of us had ever seen anything like that before. And it made us all see Keanu in a new light. Yeah, we had seen him in Speed, but we ain't seen him in nothing like this where he was doing kung fu and shit. And because that first one was so successful, the sequels just, I don't know, could ever live up to the hype that they were putting out there for them. They filmed them out at the same time. They had this weird overtone that was like this green sheen over them that just really wasn't there in the first one. It was there some of the time, but not like the whole movie. I'm in the camp that really enjoys Reloaded and Revolutions, but they're nothing compared to that first film. That first film, just seriously, every time I watch it, it's like, man, this is a platinum film right here. So with the release of this one coming out, everybody, including me, we're just kind of like, okay, does this need to be made? And man, since they are making it, I hope it's good and worth telling.
Am I crazy?
And after all the anticipation with barely any advertising, I have to say, it was pretty damn good. And it was pretty shit. I am literally 50-50 on this movie, 100%. Like, it was really awesome in the beginning. I was really getting intrigued. I was like, all right, this might be really cool. Even in the first like 45 minutes of the film, I found myself really wrapped up. The opening scene was cool. There's exposition. The introduction back to Thomas Anderson is really cool. All that stuff. You find yourself like being out of a Matrixy feeling movie, which is the way it starts, and then kind of getting involved in some characters a little bit. And then all this other really cool stuff starts to come into play. And then I start to realize it's like, man, this is just a big nostalgia party. But when I say it's Nostalgia City, I mean like from the very beginning of the movie, you're seeing the opening scene from the first Matrix film, but it's all different and rejumbled because, you know, it's like a Matrix situation where things have been uploaded and rehacked. At first, I really liked the self-aware stuff they were doing, basically saying that Thomas Anderson was this gaming programmer and he was famous for creating the greatest game trilogy of all time, The Matrix. And they even say it was created by Warner Brothers and all that. There's a Warner Brothers meeting in the movie. I mean, it's extremely like retconning itself, but not retconning itself. It's like making jokes about it, but then it's like actually using those jokes and creating real plot lines with it. There are parts of the movie where I was like, man, this is really gonna be cool. They're tapping into the old films a little bit, but then I feel like it's like, is this a cash grab or is it not a cash grab? Like the idea of some of the villains in the movie, the idea of Yahya Abdul Mateen II being like Morpheus, which it was cool kind of the way it worked and I liked it, but it's like, did we even need Morpheus in it? Why not create a new character of some sorts? I don't know, it seemed a little too Nostalgia City for me. But at the same time, I was really enjoying it. Like there are certain scenes that are badass. Like there's a scene with Neil Patrick Harris and Keanu Reeves, and I'm just gonna refer to it as the bullet time scene. To me, that was something really cool because one of the things I loved about the original Matrix is that they did all this groundbreaking film work, this groundbreaking filmmaking techniques that people had never seen before that they started to use in other films. And this one has something really cool like that I think that people are gonna notice. However, it doesn't carry the entire film. There are some moments of the film that I'm really like, all right, this is badass, this is really working. And then there's some moments of the film I'm like, what the hell's going on here? This is definitely them trying to do a cash grab. It just goes back and forth. I like the way that they handle Neo in a certain sense because he's not a fully self-realized badass yet. So he's kind of having to like wing it. He's like a hurt Neo in a weird way. Now the movie is visually awesome. I love the visuals in the movie. I think it's great. There's all kinds of old like visual cues nodding to the old films. There's all kinds of musical cues nodding to the old films. All kinds of cool stuff like that. It really is visually stunning. But I'd be lying if I said that the plot was just super awesome. It is really cool. It's like I could tell they had a cool idea and they were going somewhere and then they lost themselves a little bit. About halfway through the movie, it starts to lose me a little bit and I feel like it gets a little just kind of silly. I do like the third act though. Coming back into the third act, I thought it was pretty badass. And I do like everything that goes down. I like the chain of events. I just don't know if the execution was fully there. And by the end of it, it just became such a retcon party to where they were just like, oh, nostalgia this, nostalgia this. Look, we've seen the old Matrix movies. I mean, having this film is just showing clips from the old Matrix movies we've seen before, which parts of that are cool. It works really well in certain parts and it has this like familiarity with it that you're like, all right, I like that, I like that. But then after a while you get sick of it, in my opinion. There are cool ideas in it, and there are some things that really make you think, and you have to start like taking a step back and analyzing it. Kind of like at the end of Reloaded.
Ergo, open your yapper one more time, and I'm gonna architect a world of pain all over your candy ass.
Who the hell's the architect?
Ergo! vis-a-vis, concordantly.
Another thing that disappointed me about the movie is the fighting wasn't all that great. One of the things about the other films is that the fighting was badass. I mean, it was awesome. If anything, you could at least rely on that to have fun with the movie. Even if the plot wasn't what you were wanting, the fighting was awesome. This one, the fighting just seems kind of lackluster. I mean, all the way through. I get it that Neo is sort of like hurt, like I said. He's trying to find himself again. But everybody else in the movie, just the choreography in the entire film just wasn't Matrixy like I wanted. It does have some cool sci-fi action movie moments, and there is the concept. The concept is there. I do like the idea. It just wasn't executed well, and at the end of the day, I'm not sure that we really needed this Matrix movie. Yeah, they wanted to make some money off of it and all that stuff and revitalize it, but you had lightning in a bottle at one time, and I just don't know if you should try to just keep that lightning alive, personally. Overall, I give the Matrix Resurrections a B-. Because I did have a lot of fun with it, and I did have some things that were really pumping me up in the film. And that bullet time scene is badass. I promise you, you're gonna enjoy that part. But at the same time, there was a lot of faults and a lot of cheeseball elements in it that just couldn't sell me on the movie completely to give it like an A+ or anything. So, B-. It's not a bad movie, but it's not a great movie. Oh, and another thing. There's this thing you see at the very end, and I think that the last shot of the film is what made me be like, ah, come on. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. I don't want to spoil it, so just watch the movie. Well, that'll do it for this review, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button so you can help us make it to the top. And as always, if life gives you lemons, make some hot, fresh popcorns.
Back to the Matrix.